Kwame Frimpong was a very handsome, vibrant boy who was born into a home filled with love and laughter. He was named after his paternal grandfather, Openyi Edu Frimpong. His parents were Thomas and Evelyn. His father, Thomas, was the kind of man who worked tirelessly to provide the best for his family. But as Kwame Frimpong grew from a toddler into a young boy, something strange began to happen. His once loving heart turned cold toward his own father. The bond that should have been unbreakable slowly crumpled, poisoned by whispers of deceit. But what could have gone wrong? Who planted a seed of hatred in this innocent boy's heart? The truth behind this family's downfall will shock you. Keep watching and please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Once upon a time, in a small but peaceful town, there lived a couple, Thomas and Evelyn. Thomas was a humble carpenter, hardworking, disciplined, and devoted to his family. He believed in honesty, respect, and the value of hard work. Evelyn, on the other hand, was beautiful, ambitious, and had a heart of desires that Thomas could never truly satisfy. Despite their differences, the couple was blessed with a son, Kwame Frimpong, a bright, handsome, and energetic boy. Thomas was overjoyed and vowed to give his son the best he could afford. Though they were not rich, he worked tirelessly, crafting furniture by day and taking extra jobs at night just to secure a future for his only child. At first, their home was filled with happiness, but as Kwame grew from a toddler into a young boy, a slow and invincible storm began to brew within the family. Evelyn, despite all the sacrifices Thomas made, was never satisfied. She resented the life of struggle and believed she deserved more. More money, more luxury, more attention. She looked at other women in the town who were married to wealthy men and envied their lifestyles. Deep inside, she wished she had married a richer man instead of Thomas, who spent his days covered in sawdust and sweat. As Kwame began to understand the world around him, Evelyn saw an opportunity to turn her son against his own father. If Kwame loved her more, if he saw Thomas as worthless, she would secure her place as the most important person in his life. And so, the manipulation began. "Your father is a failure, my son," she would whisper into his ears when Thomas was not around. "He cannot even buy me the things I deserve. He doesn't love us enough to give us a better life." At first, Kwame Frimpong didn't understand, but as his mother's words became more frequent, they started to take root in his young mind. Whenever Thomas corrected Kwame, Evelyn twisted the narrative. If Thomas told Kwame to study, Evelyn would say, "He just wants to control you, my son. He is jealous that you'll be better than him one day." If Thomas disciplined Kwame for misbehaving, Evelyn would hold her son close, whispering, "See, he hates you. He enjoys making you suffer." Slowly, the respect Kwame Frimpong should have had for his father began to wither away. His young mind too, naive to see the truth, started to believe the lies. Thomas noticed the change. His once loving son had started avoiding him, responding with disrespect, and showing clear favoritism toward his mother. It pained him, but he hoped it was just a phase. He had no idea that his own wife was behind it all. And so, the seed of hatred was planted, watered by Evelyn's lies and Kwame's growing misunderstanding. A father's love was being replaced with resentment, and the tragedy of their family had only just begun. As Kwame grew older, his resentment toward his father deepened. What should have been a bond of love and respect became a silent battle between a father trying to raise his son the right way and a son who believed his father was his worst enemy. Thomas, though a quiet man, was firm in his principles. He believed that discipline was necessary to mold a boy into a responsible man. He had been raised with strong values, hard work, honesty, and respect, and he wanted nothing less for his son. But every time he corrected their son, Kwame Frimpong, Evelyn was there to undo his efforts. One evening, when Kwame was about 7 years old, he stole money from his mother's purse to buy sweets. When Thomas found out, He was furious. He sat him down, his face stern but calm. Stealing is wrong, Kwame. No matter how small the amount, it is still theft. If you continue down this path, you will grow into a man without integrity, Thomas said firmly. Kwame Frimpong, however, was not sorry. His mother had already twisted the situation in his mind. It was just money for sweet, Kwame muttered, looking away. It doesn't matter if it was 1 coin or 1,000, Thomas replied. If I allow you to steal now, you will think it is acceptable in the future. And one day, it won't be sweet. It will be something bigger, and that will destroy your life. As punishment, Thomas made Kwame return the money to his mother and grounded him for a week. No playing outside, no more sweet, no fun. Kwame was furious. Instead of understanding his father's lesson, he ran straight to Evelyn, who embraced him like a wounded soldier returning from battle. Your father is cruel, she whispered. He enjoys making you suffer. Do you think he would have punished you like this if he truly loved you? A real father would have given you money instead of punishing you for taking a little. Kwame buried his face in his mother's arms, his heart burning with anger toward his father. As the years passed, moments like these became frequent. If Kwame was rude or disobedient, Thomas would discipline him, not out of hatred, but out of love. He wanted his son to grow up to be a respectable man. But Kwame Frimpong never saw it that way. In his mind, his father was nothing but a strict, heartless man who took pleasure in making his life miserable. By the time Kwame became a teenager, he had completely stopped listening to Thomas. He disrespected him at every opportunity. He spoke back with arrogance and barely acknowledged him in the house. Thomas, still unaware of Evelyn's manipulations, was heartbroken. He didn't understand why his son hated him so much when all he ever wanted was the best for him. But no matter how much pain Kwame's behavior caused, Thomas never stopped providing for him. He worked harder than ever, taking on extra jobs just to ensure Kwame could attend the best schools. He believed that one day his son would understand. But the truth was, Kwame had already made up his mind. He wanted nothing to do with his father. By the time Kwame Frimpong reached his teenage years, his hatred for his father had become deeply rooted. What had started as quiet resentment had now grown into open disrespect. To him, Thomas was nothing but a failure, a poor, uneducated man who had no ambition in life. He didn't see his father as the man who worked tirelessly to provide for him. He didn't recognize the sacrifices, the late nights, the sweat and struggle. All he saw was the picture his mother had painted, a worthless, outdated man who had done nothing for him. Evelyn had succeeded. Her poison had worked so well that Kwame no longer questioned whether her words were true or not. Your father is just a carpenter, she would remind him. He could have been more, but he was never smart enough. I was the only one who truly cared about your future. One day, when Kwame Frimpong was about 16, Thomas came home to find his son sitting lazily on the couch, his school bag untouched. Kwame, have you done your homework? Thomas asked. Kwame scoffed. Why do you care? Because I work hard to send you to school and I want to see you succeed, Thomas said. Kwame laughed mockingly. You work hard? Please, if you really worked hard, we wouldn't be living like this. Maybe if you had aimed higher in life, we would have had a better house, a better car, but you are just a carpenter. You have no right to tell me how to succeed. Thomas was stunned. His own son, the boy he had spent his entire life providing for, had just belittled him in his own house. Is that what you think of me? Thomas asked, his voice quiet but firm. Kwame shrugged. That's what I know. You don't have ambition, and I don't want to be like you. Mom always says I was meant for greater things. For the first time, Thomas realized that his son did not just dislike him, he despised him. But instead of reacting in anger, Thomas took a deep breath and said, You will understand one day, my son. I only hope that when that day comes, it won't be too late.